Reaching all of your ambitious goals is a flex. There is an emotional toll that happens as soon as you're able to check the box and say it's been completed. And there are also emotions to not reaching your goals. Oh, honey, I hope you're ready for this episode. If you are, get your pen, your Post-it, your ambition planner, and let's go. Hello, Ambition Babes. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion, also known as the Face of Ambition, across all social media platforms, as well as wherever you stream your podcast. I help women 40 years and older who are ready to reinvent themselves, who feel as if they've been stuck for far too long and do not want to take that energy into the next year. If that is content that you are consuming right now, I'm so glad you found this channel. And do not worry, honey, if you are not over 40, but the algorithm gods decided that you were to see this video, it was for a reason. I also want to start by thanking Skillshare for being the sponsor of this episode. I cannot wait to tell you more about Skillshare later on in this episode. But today I want to go ahead and jump right into the emotional evolution of reaching your most ambitious goals. How would your life change if you knew that you could trust yourself to achieve any goal that you set out to accomplish? There is literally an emotional and mental shift that happens the moment that you know you're going to be able to reach a goal. If you've been able to run a marathon before and someone says, hey, there's a marathon in 2 weeks, you know that you can trust your body and your mentality to be able to show up on the starting line, take off at the gunshot, and maybe even place. But if someone came to me and said, honey, I want you to participate in a 5K, I would have a level of anxiety that didn't match the amount of miles we had to run, because it's a goal that I've never been able to accomplish before. And yes, although I've participated in 5Ks, there was a lot of whining and walking, and perhaps my sister had to push me in my back to keep me going. So because I've never been able to reach that goal before in the past, it's not something that I trust myself to be able to show up and be able to accomplish in my future. But the moment that anyone says they're ready to start a business, because I have helped hundreds of women start multi-6-figure and 7-figure businesses, it's a goal that I trust myself to be able to accomplish. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know how to help you. I know how to support you. And I know how to hold you accountable to your goals. And that is the mentality that we want to cultivate going into the new year. I'm going to offer you the 4 steps that are going to help you to be able to emotionally evolve and help build confidence in your goal setting and achieving process. And the very first thing that you have to do in order to become absolutely confident in being able to reach any goal that you set is that you first have to start by identifying the root of your insecurity. Why is it that you feel as if you can't? What happened the last time you said you wanted to achieve this goal and it didn't work out? Were you disappointed? Were others disappointed in you? I remember growing up when we used to get that little box with the candy bars in it that were $1, and we'd have to go door to door to our mama's job or to people at our church and ask them to buy one for a fundraiser. And I remember how many people would be like, oh, my daughter's selling those same candy bars, baby. I'm not buying yours. And one person after the next told me that they weren't going to buy my candy bars. But I already had a goal that I wanted to achieve. I had already looked in that magazine. Y'all remember the one that used to have the stacks of wrapping paper inside? I had already flipped through the magazine and highlighted and circled the gifts that I wanted twice. Because your girl has always been ambitious, I circled the big gifts. I was planning on winning the bike, but day after day of individuals telling me why they weren't going to buy my candy bars because they were on a diet, because they couldn't afford it, because I didn't have any change, it started messing with my confidence. And slowly I started feeling like I didn't want to participate in the fundraiser. I went in feeling like I was a good salesperson, but slowly my light started to dim because I felt as if I wasn't good enough. There was something that was happening that other people wanted to buy their candy bars from other kids and not me. And perhaps the root of your insecurities didn't start in the 5th grade when people didn't want to buy your $1 candy bar, but it did happen at some point in time. Maybe you were a child, maybe you were adult, but somewhere along the line, unmet expectations and past failures contributed to your self-doubt. So what I want you to do is take a moment, close your eyes, and think about the moment that your confidence was shattered when it was time for you to reach a goal. Maybe it's that you wanted to lose weight, reach a certain sales goal, save a certain amount of money to buy the house or the car or send your kid to school. Maybe you were like me and weren't able to sell all the candy bars to win the bike. But I want you to think about that moment when your confidence was shattered, when you felt like you were going to reach the goal and you felt like you had everything that it took to be able to accomplish it, and it just didn't happen for you. Whatever age you are or whatever scenario you can imagine yourself in, I want you to offer yourself a hug. I want you to tell yourself that you still can do it, that it's possible, that unmet expectations are extremely difficult to get over, but today is the last day that you're going to allow fear to cripple you and to cause you to show up insecure when it comes to setting and reaching your goals. I want you to offer your past self a hug again. And as you slowly start to open your eyes, I want you to start to smile, because everything that you just imagined was in your past. past. And that's exactly where we're going to leave it. We can decide that our past mistakes, missteps, and failures don't define the person that we are, don't define the opportunities that we can achieve. But it takes an intentional mindset shift in order to allow yourself to forgive yourself for your past mistakes and to give yourself permission to move forward. The second step in this process is to create a confidence loop. This is possibly my most favorite hack because it follows a formula. Effort plus progress equals confidence. If you watched any of my past videos, you know I love me a good formula. If I put in the effort and I start to make progress, it's going to increase my confidence. Every single win, no matter how small, is a win. That is why I start out every single day creating a win for myself. It may sound small, and it is, but the moment that I open my eyes, I get out of bed and I make the effort to make my bed. The progress that I have made is that now making my bed is a habit. It has exponentially increased my confidence because the moment that I have that very first win, I move on to my second. I know that as that timer is on my toothbrush and I brush my teeth for those 2 minutes, I'm going to stand in the mirror and repeat my affirmations. The effort that it takes in order to get up, make the bed, go in the bathroom, add an ample amount of toothpaste on my toothbrush and brush my teeth for 2 minutes increases my confidence. You have the opportunity to define your confidence loop. Perhaps you're an amazing morning person and you know you're going to show up at the gym every day. So you're creating this confidence loop of identifying the fact that every single day when my alarm goes off at 5, I'm up, I'm making my protein shakes, I'm grabbing my gym bag, I'm in the gym within a few minutes, and I'm going to make this space my sanctuary until the sweat starts rolling down my back. As we wrap up 2024, I've been reflecting on the ways that I can set myself up for success in the new year. And the number one thing on my list should not come as a surprise. At the very top of my list is learning a new skill that is going to level up my productivity and creativity. And that's where Skillshare comes in. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes taught by industry experts. Whether you're looking to boost your productivity, grow your side hustle, or dive into a passion project, Skillshare has something for absolutely everyone. From design, illustration, freelancing, filming, editing, and a whole lot more, it's your one-stop location for learning and growth. One thing that I'm focused on before year's end is getting my workflow organized. And so I'm taking the most amazing productivity class on Skillshare. I've learned tips and tricks to streamline my schedule and tackle my to-do list with more efficiency. Honestly, it has been a complete game changer in helping me to step into 2025 with a plan and clear purpose. It is the absolute most perfect time to invest in yourself. Imagine going into this new season with a new skill or perspective that will help you to work smarter and not harder. Skillshare makes it easy to learn at your own pace with classes to fit your demanding schedule. So, what's one thing that you want to learn in 2024 so that you can start 2025 strong? Whether it's productivity, a creative skill, or something you've always been curious about, Skillshare can help you to finally get there. Click the link in my description and the first 500 people will get their first month absolutely free. This is definitely a time that you're going to want to pause this video and go to the description right now. Thank you, Skillshare, for being the sponsor of this video and an amazing supporter of our community. You are capable of increasing your confidence when it comes to achieving your goals. Why wouldn't you be able to achieve 4 goals that you've created for yourself if you're already able to achieve 1? The reason that you're not able to operate with complete confidence that you're going to be able to reach your most ambitious goals brings me to tip number 3. We have got to overcome our fear of failure. You see me shifting in my chair because I'm crossing my legs because I'm going to sit here for a while. Fear of failure is ultimately the number one reason why we don't even try to reach any of our goals. We failed before, so why would this be any different? If I've tried to save money before, why is this going to all of a sudden be the month and the year that I'm going to be able to save $100,000? Get out of debt, improve my marriage, lose 15, 20, 50 pounds, get the raise, start the business, or finally be selected for the promotion I know that I deserve. So you don't set it as a goal. You leave it up to chance in order for it to actually be accomplished. Leaving weight loss up to chance is like being intentional about saying that you want to gain weight. You have got to set specific goals that are going to be able to help you to reach any goal that you set for yourself. But first, you have to be honest and identify where your fear started and how to completely cut it off. Once you're able to start achieving and celebrating some of your goals, it starts changing your relationship with failure. And you notice I mentioned that you have to celebrate your goal in order for it to actually have meant something to you. Yes, making my bed is effort plus progress and it increases my confidence. But I have to admit that I don't celebrate that as a win. But when I have a goal to be able to eliminate debt, set, and I'm actually putting in the work to be able to do it, every single month that I submit that payment, I should be celebrating. Every single time that alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and I do the steps that it's going to take to get to the gym, I need to celebrate that. Every time I show up at therapy, every time I do the hard work, every time I identify the negative thoughts that creep into my mind and I decide that I'm going to cancel them, I need to celebrate it as a win, because we're already afraid to write out our goals. And if we ever even start working to our goals, we never celebrate it. We maintain that poor relationship with failure. It is always that companion that reminds us that you never should have started in the first place if you weren't going to finish. You never should have started the YouTube channel if it wasn't going to be successful. You never should have turned on the camera. You never should have written out the content that you wanted to review. You never should have invested in that business. You never should have gone back to school. Fear of failure is an ever-present evil that will push you off the edge, cause you to stop believing that you are worthy of achieving anything that God has placed on your heart to accomplish. You have to start looking at failure as data and not defeat. If you fail in reaching a goal, collect all the data that you've learned from that experience. The very first time that I failed on my weight loss journey, I was supposed to learn something. What I needed to learn during that experience is that starving me was never going to give me the results that I desired. Is that comparing myself and my journey to somebody else was never going to help me feel more confident and like I could actually achieve that goal. But because I didn't actually look at my failures as data, I started repeating that same process every time I allowed myself to make weight loss a goal. However, when I started to look at my failures as data points, I started to be able to identify areas of weakness. That is why it is so important to review your goals every single week. Every time that you set a goal, you need to journal about what went well this week, what went extremely wrong, and what areas do I need to recalibrate, if any, to be more successful next week. We oftentimes decide we're going to create these goals, put them in our beautiful ambition planner, and close the book. And there they lived, untouched, untapped, unrefined, until we're feeling sorry for ourselves and decide we want to come back and read about the things that we said we were going to do and we were actually never able to achieve. Sis, instead of in a confidence loop, you're in a failure loop of your own making. When you start to reprogram your mind and see failure as data and not defeat, you will start to gain power over fear. And number 4 is that the simple act of goal setting refines your identity. When you finally allow yourself to set goals using the SMART goal method, and it's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely, you start to show up different. If your goal in the new year is to start a business, and you're extremely specific about the goals that you want to be able to accomplish over the next 90 days, the way that you show up and the way that individuals experiences you shifts. You start reading more. You start writing out your thoughts and ideas, your goals, your mission statement. You start identifying individuals that you may need to bring on to help you on your journey. You start doing market research. You start saving your money differently. You start dressing the part of the person that you're about to become. The moment that you simply allow yourself to set a goal, it starts changing the way that you show up. If you are serious about starting a 6-figure business, there's a certain amount of sweat equity that it's going to cost you in order to achieve that goal. Yes, you've built amazing relationships with your girlfriends. Y'all been on cruises. You sit up at the lounge. Y'all like to key all night long. But when it's time to get about your business, you operate differently. You can't sit up on the phone with your girlfriends all night. You can't binge watch the latest trending show on Netflix. You start praying more. You start meditating. You start journaling. You start meeting with like-minded individuals. You start networking. You drop the nickname off your profile name on LinkedIn so that you show up a little bit more professionally. When you get serious about reaching a goal, it adjusts your posture. I'm a big football girl, and I love to watch the men that are walking into the tunnel before the game starts. They've got on their headsets. They've got on their flashy outfits, and it is rare that they pay attention to any of the cameramen that are calling their names. They're focused. They've got a goal. They've got a goal to be able to go into that stadium and beat the opponent by more than a field goal in overtime. They've dressed the part. They've gone to sleep the night before. They put on their headphones to block out the distractions, and they're ready to win. As I've stated before, I have had the honor of helping hundreds of women to build their successful businesses. It took me a lot of trial and some very costly errors in order to get it right. But my goal was to be a business consultant. My goal was to be able to empower women to reach their goals. And if I had allowed fear to stop me and hold me back from what God told me that I was going to do with my life, then how would I then, by proxy, affect other individuals who were waiting for me? We sometimes get wrapped up in the fact that we have a goal that we want to accomplish because we want it for ourselves. But I want to challenge that mindset. What if you losing the weight and sticking to the goals that you said you wanted to accomplish was exactly what your 10, 12, 15-year-old son needed in order to feel as if he could do it too? What if you going back to school to become that nurse saved the life of a patient that was in your hospital during your shift? Reaching a goal feels absolutely absolutely amazing, what if I told you that achieving that goal oftentimes had nothing to do with you? You needed to be at the right place at the right time working on this goal, showing up at the library, working in that coffee shop, spending the time working on your craft so that the man of your dreams could walk in that coffee shop and see you sitting there and propose to you 6 months later. Achieving your goals is so much more than just checking a box. It's about stepping into the version of yourself that you were always meant to be. I want to encourage you to journal about how achieving your goals might shift your self-perception. If God has planted a vision inside of your heart, He means for you to see it through. He is not going to rescind the call on your life. We have got to remove the fear, the insecurity, and the self-doubt that has been holding us back for way too long. Oh, honey, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I am so excited about this new season and the goals that you are going to be intentional about setting and achieving. If you have a goal that you've been working on and you have any questions, comments, thoughts, suggestions, or just want to be able to share your goals with someone else, please make sure that you leave it in the comment section below. Every single comment on every single video that I have ever recorded, I take time and personally respond to you. So please take this opportunity to get a free consultation session, honey. I want to thank Skillshare again for being the amazing sponsor of this episode. And I hope that you are running to the description right now so that you are the first of the 500 individuals that take advantage of this gracious offer. I pray that you are well and that you're doing something every single day to reach your most ambitious goals.